What's going on YouTube? It's Colby here with another post-game reaction. And what can I say? In the words of Jerome Tang, it's a great day to be a Wildcat. Kansas State upsets number 6 Oklahoma down in Norman last night. Kansas State is 3-1 against them in the last 4 years, which is kind of redonkulous. But yeah, first of all, for every last one of you that slid into my mentions on Twitter last week, because I stood up and said, we need to have empathy, we need to be patient, we need to see how this team plays. The Tulane game, I think, is a trap game. It's not a good indication of how we can play, and I think how we will play. I got really beat up for that on Twitter, and I expect an apology from every last one of you on my desk by tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Yeah, and that's foreshadowing for you. But yeah, so I don't want to be that guy that's like rubbing your face in it, but at the same time, I got really beat up on Twitter for it, and I'm very happy to be right this one time. And I could be wrong for all of my other takes, but I'm glad that I was right on this one. So you know what? I feel a little bit of a smugness there, because there's some fans that are now strutting around after the win that really don't deserve to be, because they were absolute haters last week, said some really terrible things. They wanted Colin Klein to be fired. They wanted Adrian Martinez to be sat down on the bench. I saw people taking bets on Facebook about how quickly they were going to bench Adrian Martinez in the first quarter. And yeah, let's just talk about Adrian Martinez's stats. 21 of 34 for 234 yards and a passing touchdown. He averaged 6.9 yards per completion, no picks. Then he had 21 carries for 148 yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, 7 yards per carry, no fumbles. 9 a.m. was the man of the hour last night, and frankly, everybody who just went after him, you should feel embarrassed, because he proved to you why he is who he is and why Kansas State needs him at quarterback. As much as I love #IronWill Howard, as much as I love Jake Rubley, those guys are not going to be able to do what Adrian Martinez just did last night. That is an elite level talent that Kansas State has not seen in a long time at the quarterback position, and it was an unbelievable win. Just an unbelievable win all around. Deuce Vaughn, he had 25 carries, 116 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. He didn't have any rushing touchdowns, but that's okay. He's back over 100 yards. And because they spent so much time teeing off on Deuce, gave Adrian some lanes wide open to rush for some of those touchdowns. Not to mention the play of the hour, the 56-yard rushing play on 3rd and 16, 3rd and forever, the scramble to get us down inside 1st and goal. And that's just ridiculous. That's elite level play, and and for every last one of you that doubted him, I hope you feel really dumb now, because for those of us who didn't, we're all sitting around saying, thank you, that's exactly what we were looking for. But yeah, okay, I've buried that hatchet. I won't say anything more about it. Kansas State had 28 first downs to OU's 26, but the tale is a little bit different. Kansas State was 8 of 17 on 3rd down. Oklahoma was 4 of 13. Kansas State was 2 of 2 on 4th down. Back-to-back quarterback sneaks. Chef's kiss. Unbelievable. Great play calling from Colin Klein. And we'll get to that in a second. But 2 for 2 on 4th down. Oklahoma was 1 for 2. Kansas State, 509 yards of total offense. Oklahoma had 550 total yards. This is the most yards by a Colin Klein offense all time. They had 442 yards versus LSU in the Texas Bowl. Kansas State outgained Oklahoma by almost 10 minutes in time of possession, 35 minutes and 4 seconds to 24 minutes and 56 seconds. That's huge. The running game was able to keep the offense on the field, keep their hands on the ball, and to really force Oklahoma into a bad position. Oklahoma, of course, being the team that they are with some of the caliber of players that they have, still kept it close, but Kansas State was leading by 14 points with under 2 minutes to go last night, which I think pretty much sealed the deal. Kobe Savage, he had 11 total tackles, 8 solo. Redonkulous. He played the lights out last night. Julius Brents had 9 total tackles, 4 solos, and half a tackle for loss. He played really well. There was this one time where he came over and he just like flexed on this dude. And I'm like, first of all, it's not necessary. Don't do that. You made the play. It speaks for itself. But he flexed on him and then got roasted the next play. I mean, just demolished. It's kind of like, dude, don't do that. So Julius, if you're watching this, love you, man. Great effort last night. Don't do that. Don't do that. Austin Moore, 9 total tackles, 4 solo, half a sack, half a tackle for loss. This is the most points scored by Kansas State on OU all time. The series started in 1908. And the last time that K-State beat a ranked opponent, okay, this is my favorite stat. I looked this up last night, tweeted it out. It's got some love. Last night, K-State beat a ranked opponent, September 24th, 2022, versus number 6 Oklahoma. It's the last time that they've done that. Last time that KU, they went 4-0 yesterday, beat Duke late in the game. KU, the last time they beat a ranked opponent, September 11th, 2010, versus number 15. They were at Georgia Tech. And the last time K-State beat a top 10 opponent on the road, September 24th, 2022, versus number 6 Oklahoma. The last time KU did that was October 7th, 1995, at number 4 Colorado. I wasn't even born yet. So go figure. It has been, I'm 23 years old. I was born in 99. So it has been over 25 years since KU has gone and beaten a ranked opponent like that. So yeah, go figure. Okay, let's get down to nuts and bolts. Incredible game. The game plan looked really solid. Kansas State took a 14-0 lead early in the first quarter. I mean, they were playing tempo. They were playing a hurry-up offense, no huddle. They lined up, snapped the ball, ran a play. Lined up, snapped the ball, ran a play. Lined up, snapped the ball, ran a play. It was crisp. It was disgusting. It looked so good, just nasty. Oklahoma had no idea what to do for the first 10 minutes of the game, and then K-State had a 14-0 advantage. It was great. Defense bent a little bit. It looked like they might break. Oklahoma ties it back up, and then Kansas State takes off with it, 24-17 lead into halftime, and then we just keep our foot on the gas pedal. Some big-time stops on defense. We're able to pull out the win, 41-34. 7-point touchdown advantage. I mean, that's textbook K-State football. I mean, that's the offense we all knew that they could have. That's the offense we didn't see against Tulane. And let's talk about the Tulane game for a second. I think that's a trap game. I think that the guys were looking ahead to Oklahoma, but I also think that some of the really conservative play calling that we saw is because they showed so many different looks against Oklahoma. Colin Klein promised a multiple offense. We got a multiple offense last night against Oklahoma. We hadn't been seeing a multiple offense. Adrian Martinez let it rip. He was throwing darts all over the field. He had 2 big-time throws. If Cade Warner had come up with it, he would have had probably over 300 yards passing. He was also one clutch play away from throwing a passing touchdown to Sammy Wheeler in the end zone late in the game. And then he would have had, 250 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. He would have had 6 total touchdowns on the evening, which is just ridiculous. But yeah, I'm very impressed with Adrian Martinez. I think you should be too. I think he's the truth. I think that a different coaching staff has been incredible for him. I think that his playmaking ability has improved. All we heard from Nebraska fans and kind of the college football world coming into tonight's game is that if Adrian Martinez manages, if in some way they manage to keep in the game with Oklahoma and Brent Venables' defense, then we need to be careful because Adrian Martinez looks like a Heisman candidate for 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, he loses the game for you. No, fourth quarter, he was clutch. I haven't seen a fourth quarter clutch play like that since Skylar Thompson was throwing darts as time expired to to win against Iowa State at home in 2017, last regular season game. It wasn't an upset, I misspoke there, but that's a great game. I haven't seen clutch play like that in a long time. Just, wow. Unbelievable game. Defense looked absolutely nasty from time to time. There are some plays that they gave up. They gave up 2 of the longest receptions, both of which went for touchdowns. They had a 56-yard passing play that went for a touchdown, and then the next drive, 50-yard passing play that went for a touchdown. Omar Daniels got absolutely roasted. I tweeted out, let's not put a guy who's not a starter on one-on-one coverage with a receiver like that. But you know what? That's what you got to do sometimes. And Omar Daniels is going to get better from that. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the K-State defense responds. Texas Tech coming up next week at home. That's going to be broadcast on Wildcat 91.9. I won't be doing that, but my colleagues will. So you'll definitely want to tune in to Wildcat 91.9 KSDV Manhattan, the student radio station for Kansas State. We're doing some really great stuff have won some awards recently for our sports broadcasting. It's looking pretty good. But yeah, so we'll be calling that game. Then you can also listen to Stan and Wyatt if you'd like on the radio. And I think it's going to be ESPN Plus, RIP. But yeah, so Kansas State upsets number 6 Oklahoma at home. Has Texas Tech to look forward to at home next week. At home, I meant that they upset Oklahoma in Norman, and Oklahoma's home. Texas Tech also upset Texas in Lubbock last night. Number 22 Texas is not back. They are 2-2 on the season. Bijan Robinson, the Mustard King himself, got smacked in the first play of overtime, fumbled the ball, gave it right to Texas Tech. Texas Tech had deferred. They marched down the field, kick a field goal, and it's over. This might be the last time that Texas and Oklahoma play Kansas State and Texas Tech respectively. So wouldn't that be something if Kansas State, after all these years of subjugation to Oklahoma, goes out 3-1 in the last 4 years with a big-time upset against a top 10 team in Norman. So huge day for Kansas State. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the fireworks, and you should too. Kansas State, if we continue to play like this, I think we're a championship caliber team. That was a championship caliber effort. That was a team that refused to go away. It did not wilt in the face of bad things, in the face of turmoil, and some hate from the fans. And Deuce Vaughn probably said half a dozen times in his interview last night, this one's for the haters. So I think that should speak volumes. It does to me, and I hope it does to you too. But what a great game. Kansas State rolling. Looking forward to see how they do against Oklahoma. Okay, my name is Colby. If you want to subscribe, like, do everything, do all of that, you'll never miss another one of my videos again. And I'll see you sometime this week.
What's going on, YouTube? This is Colby Van Camp here, the host of Training Camp on Kansas State University student radio station Wildcat 91.9 FM. If you like the content that I've been putting out, be sure to hit the like button, smash subscribe, and ring the heck out of that bell so that you never miss another one of my shows again.